So we have some major news coming out of the UFC. UFC has made a merger with Meta, the company that generates Facebook, Instagram, and the WhatsApp, giving fans unprecedented access to be able to have Meta AI glasses, new in arena experiences, and become the official sports media partner of the UFC, and also a new feature as well of AI rankings. So no longer will it be the fact of people making the rankings; it'll be now AI generated. Fellas, this is major news for the UFC. What do you guys think of this, BC? I'm going to have you start this off, man. What do you think about the merger between TKO is what they go for on the stock market, but UFC is the parent company? What's your thoughts on this, man? This is huge.
No, for sure. And I mean, again, you're talking about incorporating social media giant Meta, like with regard, again, you have so many different companies that it encompasses. And then you're able to bring that kind of social media marketing, accountability, and everything along with the UFC. It's huge. You're going to be able to bring the fighters that much closer to the fans, and also to the incorporation of AI generated rankings instead of, again, people doing it. Again,
Right.
It's AI generated. However, again, it's going to be based on algorithms. So it's going to be very interesting to see. That's the one I'm most curious about. Fan engagement, fan involvement is something I think we all can appreciate with sports. But for me, the thing that really stuck out to me was AI generated rankings. And it's going to be interesting for sure to see, how their algorithm is based on, how you're going to rank these fighters. You're going to go on strictly win-loss. You're going off of, are you also having the AI determine who is the tougher fighters? It's going to be interesting how they bring that together. And I know for sure there's going to be some hiccups along the way, probably the first few weeks or months of having this ranking system for sure. But that, to me, that's what sticks out most. And I'm very interested in learning more about the system as well and seeing it implemented in practice.
Yeah, G-Mike, man, this is huge technology. This is a huge boost for the UFC. What's your thoughts on this one, man? How cool would this be on a fight night, man?
No, it'll be definitely awesome to watch for sure. And I think the thing that pops out for me the most is that since with this merger, it's going to put a lot of more exposure on UFC itself, because there's a lot of people that use Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat that don't know anything about the UFC. And now with this merger, obviously they're going to be promoting a lot of the UFC fights, the promos, the events, whatever the case may be. And it's going to get to a broader audience throughout the world, because the UFC is just international. It's not just the United States. If you guys don't watch the UFC, they do a lot of fights in other countries in the Middle East, in the East, and all that stuff. So it's going to be dope for the exposure to get out there, to get more fans, to get the UFC, the league itself, on a higher level, getting these fighters as well more money, because
that's exactly what I would say. Money's going to become involved. You got to, the more sponsorships, the more money comes in. It has to.
Yeah. If people are watching the fights way more and more and more, and the promos and all that stuff, it's gonna just bring in more money for the fighters, for everybody else that's involved in the UFC. And honestly, just all in all, it's a win-win on both sides, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so like I said, my biggest take would be is what I'm excited for is the Meta AI with the glasses. And so like let's face it, VR is the future of is the future. It's only going to get better. So I think it's an awesome way to give technology with the fight game. You're going to be able to get an experience that you probably never got a chance before. Moves like these are the reason why the UFC is on top of the game and why MMA is sweeping the nation right now instead of boxing. Boxing, it's not the same, man. UFC is on top of the game. And on top of it too, how cool would it be for a fight night to be able to put on some VR glasses or put on a VR headset? A little bit bulky still at the time. The technology is only going to get better. But how cool would it be? You're going to get ringside and just be at your house. I think that's going to be amazing. The only thing I'm going to say about the whole thing, though, is that I hope it doesn't cost more for fans to do that. The pay-per-views are only getting more expensive. They're also getting great quality fights, and Dana White and those boys know how to create good pay-per-views. But I just hope that this doesn't go on for the fans, that you have to pay a hell of a lot more than you would have for a fight just to watch it on there. I can understand a little upcharge, but I just hope it doesn't come at the cost of fans.
I will say as well, with the augmented reality systems as well, with the glasses and everything like that, for me, it kind of brings me back to as well, like with given that video game fight feel though too. Like, are you going to be able to track a fighter's stamina? Are you going to be able to track their health throughout the course of the match? Are you going to be able to kind of see how, these damages and everything like that? Almost like you kind of have not really a health bar, but it'd be interesting to see how they incorporate that. You can kind of see all those little different things. Maybe get in depth on, having the corner speeches, corner talks with, with the fighters and their staff.
It can
It's
only get
interesting.
better.
It's basically bringing video game like or realism, or basically bringing video games into kind of your experience of the fights without necessarily you having to worry about controlling it and learning all these different button combinations. You just sit back, relax, and watch, and it's just a whole new frontier, and it's very exciting to see.
Yeah, you could be in the fight without getting punched, and
Exactly.
I mean that sounds
Or
pretty good to me.
either
Imagine
that or
having that.
go
Imagine
ahead.
having that experience of just sitting front row and watching one of these fights, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, if
That
you think
must
about
be
it too, like
great.
the technology that's coming out is only going to get better. I mean, pretty soon we'll be having sweat on our foreheads without even, without even being there. Like
Literally.
it's amazing what they're able to do, and I think this is only going to enhance the fan experience and why, like I was saying before, why the UFC seems like they're on top.